still very new, so that'll definitely feature soon. I will be making carbonara. But yes, it's in the name. I kind of have to love it. Who doesn't though? Who doesn't love carbonara? And Independent M, what do you think of tomatoes in burgers? Oh, it depends how they're cut. If they are too thinly cut, then I don't like them. I think they can be too soggy, and they can really ruin the structural integrity of a burger. That's my answer. And Zawan, hi, hello, first time chatting here. Thank you so much for joining yourself and Independent M. We are making a whole heap of loaded toasted wraps. It's something that I do regularly, but I have never streamed it, so I thought that would be fun because it's a pretty satisfying thing to watch when I have all the wraps laid out and we come up with different combinations for them. And the base of most of them will be our sweet potatoes that we have cooking over there and our chicken that we've got cooking in here. And I'm just scrolling up because there we go. Oh no, Aldi, where you are, Cookie. That's disappointing. We love Aldi, and they are far more affordable than the other big chain supermarkets that we have around here. And we have another first time chatter. It is Crew 57. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so you're saying best way to prepare dumplings from a dumpling aficionado is put on the pan, high heat until they brown, then put water in the pan, about 1/4 of the height of dumplings, and boil the water off. 10 out of 10 IGN rated. That does sound like an excellent way to cook them. I have also cooked them in the pan before, and deglazing, well, there goes our sweet potato. Good thing we stabbed them. Could you hear that? They are bubbling up. That'll be fine. They're just monster sweet potatoes. Yes, that definitely sounds like a delicious way to cook them. Sometimes I just don't have the patience and I like just doing the sneaky way of popping them in the oven. But yes, that sounds like if I was having a little date night with Josh, or more of a special occasion, and I felt like putting in a little more effort and standing there watching that I don't burn them. That sounds like the best way to cook them, really. Cooking things on the pan definitely brings in those flavors of, yeah, the oil or whatever you cook them in. I cooked some sweet potato fries the other night and cooked them in honey, which was really fun. Again, I put them in the oven, but if I had put them on the pan and tossed them that way, I think they would have been even more amazing. Independent M asks, have you ever tried a borscht? Am I saying that right? Borscht? Best soup ever. No, I've never even heard of that. I do love some soup, and our friend from Twitch, Lavender Cube, who's amazing, if you want to check her out. She was having, I think it was soup the other night, but she had garlic bread. So now I've been craving soup and garlic bread, so maybe I'll have to look into the borscht soup. Just gonna go check on our sweet potatoes. It's a pity we don't have our other angle, because then I could position you and you could watch the sweet potatoes if they do blow up, which they won't. We stabbed them. They'll be fine. They will be fine. And Chris says it's a Slavic beet soup. Independent says it's really common in Eastern Europe. Well, I am learning so much on Twitch when I'm streaming. I love hearing about people's favorite foods and learning all these ones that I've never heard of before. So yes, my next soup I'm gonna have to make it a borscht soup. Thank you for the knowledge. Yes, and thank you, nice dog. Addie, you wanna come say hi? We've got some more viewers and I wanna see. Wanna come up and say hi? Up yet? Here's Addie, she says hi. Yeah, I know there's cheese. You've already had cheese this morning, haven't you? I know. There's a whole block grated. All right, down you get. Down you get. Now I'm gonna have to wipe down the bench again, but I hope that was worth it. For you to see Addie. She's delightful. Independent M, okay, I hope you'll announce on Instagram when you'll be making borscht. Ooh, yes, yeah, stay up to date on my Instagram. That's where I post all my updates. And yeah, I guess I'll have to make some borscht soup. Yeah, doggy. I can see you by the bin, Addie. I can see you. We have one of those ones that you step on and then it lifts up. She knows how to open the bin now. Yeah, I can hear sometimes when I'm in the next room, I can hear the dunk. You're too smart. You're too smart. You know how to open the bin. Just checking on the sweet potato. It looks good. Looks good. And our chicken timer, that went off. Something I always do when I'm streaming is I turn off the timer because I'm like, that's an annoying noise, and then I forget to take out whatever is in here. Now you watch out, Addie. Wait. There we go. There was a lot of steam, if you could see that just come at me. So there's our chicken. They are huge. Huge chicken breasts. And yes, because we're putting in so much effort with all the prep of everything else, and it will take quite some time to make as many wraps as we want to, we're just doing it the easiest way ever so we don't have to stand over a hot pan. Also, it's too hot to do that. It is too hot today. Oh, goodness. I need bigger tongs to flip this one. There you go, so we're just flipping it. And I've got it on a silicone baking mat, which I find is the easiest way to cook anything in the oven. So easy to then just throw in the dishwasher. Oh, and a doggy name. So her name is Addie, which is short for Adeline. She just looked up at me when I said that. Oh, did we get a... Thank you for following. Thank you so much for following. I just realized that my little headphone's not working. That's annoying. I'll take it out. It kept on saying, disconnected, disconnected. So, thank you so much for the follow, Independent M. Yeah, her name is Adeline. She is the light of my life. I love her so much. She just winked at me. Oh, you can almost see her. One day we will have another shot that actually works, and I can just position the camera down on her at all times. And is that a marble backsplash? No, it's not. It's just a regular white tile that we've had laid in a herringbone pattern, which is the, yep, that's the pattern, herringbone. But marble would be nice. It would be lovely. Probably a whole lot more expensive though. And we definitely spent the money in the kitchen. Wait, what are we doing? Another 20 minutes for the chicken, by the way. We definitely spent the money on the countertop, the stone here. So didn't really have any more for the, the backsplash, but yeah, thanks for noticing. We love the backsplash, love the herringbone pattern. My sister actually built her house as well, and she got the same tile, but she didn't lay it in herringbone, so I was glad about that. And a very nice and subtle pattern. Me likey. Thank you very much, Cree57. Thank you for shouting out about the follow.
Oh, that's all right. In a minute, I might just tweak the camera. I think it's still going on Wi-Fi.
Ah. Yes, if you missed it, we've had some technical difficulties this morning. We did have another angle that didn't work, and then you could hear me but not see me.
Oh, that was fun. That was a barrel of laughs.
Yeah. Josh's brain went overtime, needing to figure it out.
Oh yeah, you're on Wi-Fi.
I'm on Wi-Fi, am I?
That's all right. The camera will be back in just a moment, just because the audio gets out of sync.
Okay.
So you can always keep talking.
Oh, right. I'm still here.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm still here, and those sweet potatoes are screaming. There's screaming in there.
I think that should be good. Oh, using Wi-Fi. Silly bones.
Daddy, did I say you could get up? Did I say you could get up?
Daddy, I gotta select this. I can't do it when you're moving.
Daddy, yeah.
Activate.
She's licking.
Okay.
Down you get.
I think that should be good.
She's getting too good at walking on her two back legs, aren't ya? No,
There we go.
I didn't say. Down you get.
Just the audio was getting a little bit out of sync because it was on Wi-Fi.
Okay. We had my video connected via Wi-Fi, so it was a little out of sync. So hopefully that's a bit better. Still learning. And tech support has arrived. Yep. Thank goodness for Josh. Thank gosh for Josh. We've got our broccoli here, and it's almost on the way out, which is annoying because we just bought this yesterday.
Oh, that's annoying. It's on the way out.
Like, we literally just bought it yesterday, and I feel like that's been the way with grocery stores lately. One, they have jacked up their prices like crazy. I know last time I was streaming a cooking stream, we had a cucumber. Did we have a cucumber? I was talking about the cucumber. It was $2.50 for like a little cucumber, just one. And now they're $2.69, I think it was. So yeah, not great. Not great that the prices keep going up, and like, this is almost on the way out, and we literally just got it yesterday. Grr. Also, we're not wasting any of it. We are going to eat the entire thing, including the stem, just not the very, very woody end of it. Josh is snacking again on coffee chocolate.
Yeah, you want some chocolate?
So Josh's breakfast this morning, when we went out for a walk, he grabbed 3 slices of cheese. Okay, well, you had a muesli bar.
Alright, cashews.
And cashews.
Now some coffee chocolate.
And now coffee chocolate. That's a weird medley.
Good.
That's a very weird medley. Starting off your morning with cheese. Yes, I know this is not the correct way to cut up broccoli, but I actually want it really, really, really finely cut, because we don't want a huge mouthful of broccoli in our wraps. We just want a little subtle flavor throughout all of it. So yeah, I want it to cook kind of quickly, so I'm just cutting it up smaller, because if you cut things up smaller, they do cook quicker. Also, that really happy noise, the do-do-do-do-do-do thing, well, it wasn't that noise, but that really happy noise is our microwave, which means it's time to check our sweet potato. I'm really sad that you can't see. Whoa, that's steamy. And I'm just gonna poke it. It's definitely not done, but we're gonna flip them over so then they can marinate in their very sugary juices that come out. Now I'm making sure to use different tongs than the ones I use for the raw chicken. What are you licking? What did you find on the ground? And I'm gonna put them in for another 20 minutes, but we'll keep an eye on it, because we don't want our sweet potato yeah, blowing up in the microwave. So in terms of sauces that I picked up, I'm gonna do some with pesto, because pesto, chicken, cheese, yum. That's such a great combination. So we've got pesto in this cute little jar. We've also got some lime and chili mayo. It's a spicy, a tangy and spicy creamy mayo, which I've not tried before, but thought that would be a really nice combination to have with our capsicum, and if we had it, feta cheese, but no feta cheese. We've also got guacamole, which I don't really know what we're gonna put that in with. We'll see when we get everything all laid out. And we've also got a spicy peri peri mayonnaise. So having sauces like this is a really great way to just inject that flavor into any sort of wrap. Also, if you missed it, so I love making these wraps, I don't know, maybe once a month I do this, where I make a whole heap of wraps. Never streamed it before, so I thought it'd be a fun process to watch. So I just throw in a whole range of different combinations of things. They've always all got cheese. Always. Can't have it without cheese. And I toast them in our toasty maker and let them cool down, and then I put them in the freezer because it's the easiest meal to just heat back up by just putting it on the toasty machine. And I think we've got at least 24 wraps in the pantry that we bought yesterday, and we have even more really, because we always have wraps in our pantry. And we have a bit of a combination. We have white wraps, we have whole grain wraps, and I find the big wraps are much easier to work with and way less work than fiddling with the little ones where you have to put in way less fillings, because yeah, we're making them loaded. They are loaded wraps. So we've got 3 packs of these, and there's 8 each, which I think is a good starting point, because we're just kind of using what we have already, which is a great way if we have leftovers of anything, like leftovers of corn. We always have corn in most meals. Corn and black beans are the things that we use most commonly. You can't really see our fridge, but I'll spin you around if you have missed it before. We've got all these recipes that I've just got some pictures of and put them up on our fridge, and they're laminated. Just realized this is out of focus. There we go. So you can't really see it from here because you're on a tripod, but that's as close as we can get. We've got veggie toasted wraps, but we are doing ours with chicken today. And they use very similar ingredients like corn, black beans, cheese, capsicum, which then follows into Tuesday. We've got lentil burrito bowls, which is all of those ingredients really, but with the lentils, and just chucked into a bowl instead of a wrap. And then we've got burritos, which, same thing, corn, black beans, all the things. I just realized we also need to make our rice. And I might just, nope, I won't mess with the tripod. I might just open the windows because the lighting's a bit weird. Anyway, that's the system. Let's go wash some rice, because we're gonna make coconut rice today, which I completely forgot we were doing. So we need to make a start on that. Where is the coconut milk? Okay, we don't have coconut milk, but we have coconut cream, which I really love making coconut rice. Also, I never used to put rice in these wraps until one day we had a heap of rice left over and I thought, oh, I'll just throw it in a wrap. It was amazing because the cheese just melted all through it and yeah, it was incredible. Oh my goodness, there's a spider in the broccoli. There's a spider in the, Josh, there's a spider in the broccoli. It's a black one. That's the worst ones. If you're from Australia or the black ones are the bad ones. Get it. I have goosebumps. Look at it. It just crawled out of there. I could see something moving. It's a broccoli spider.
Oh.
Get out of here.
Do you want this piece of broccoli?
Yeah! It just made a web. How did it make it so fast? Addie's excited. Yikes.
I thought you didn't want this piece of broccoli?
I want the broccoli. I just don't want the spider.
Well, the spider's gone.
Well, that's good.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm a little more awake now. Down you get. She's jumped up so much I'm gonna have to wipe this all down again. So, coconut, rice. We're not measuring because we'll have as much as we have and we will eat the rest if it doesn't fit into our wraps, but we do have a sweet potato as well. I think having a starchy like something in your wraps is really good because then they're actually really filling. That might be enough. Probably not enough coconut cream for that amount of rice though. So I'm just gonna go rinse this. Don't forget to rinse your rice, people. We've got another 8 minutes on that chicken. I'm just gonna let the rice soak for a little bit. I'm gonna cook up our broccoli. And yes, like I mentioned, I'm just gonna cut it up really roughly, but finely, so we don't get a huge mouthful of broccoli. So we just want it subtle. Feels weird not having that earphone in anymore. You can hear properly out of both ears. But also, hopefully I don't miss any little alerts that pop up. It's a tricky balance of keeping an eye on the screen and making sure I don't chop off a finger. So tomorrow when we go into the city, Josh and I, it'll be the first time I've gone into the city for a while, and I'm so excited to go into the new Dymocks. They've put it in a really old building with these beautiful arches and like stone columns and things, and I've seen photos. I saw the opening day photography and it was beautiful, so I can't wait. But I don't really know what book I'm looking for, or books I'm looking for. I was very on top for quite some time on all the books that I wanted, but I feel like I haven't been on Book Talk nearly as much recently, so I don't really know what's out there. So if you have any good book recommendations of things that I should maybe look out for when we go to Dymocks tomorrow, let me know. I just started reading, not last night, but the night before, I just started reading the second book in the Fable series, which I've quite enjoyed. My friend lent me the first book. I read that really quickly, and then COVID happened and I just didn't get to see her for the longest time, so I had a book for over a year. And then, yeah, caught up with her the other day and she gave me the second book to read, which is really nice. Konkan Dimix is going to be amazing. It is. I cannot wait to go. I'll make sure to do some little updates on my Instagram of whatever books we end up finding. Cookie Monster says, had to leave for a bit. Where are you at in the process? All good. Not too much has happened, aside from we found a spider in the broccoli, a black spider. Yeah, in Australia, if you see a black spider, they're the bad ones. It just crawled out of the broccoli, so I'm now finally chopping it. So you missed that little panic moment from me. But I think, yeah, Josh washed it down the sink. I don't know why. Why'd you put it down the sink, Josh?
Sorry?
You put it down the sink, did you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're cutting up our broccoli. Our sweet potato, we've flipped that over and put it on for another 20 minutes. And if you missed it, we flipped our chicken and put it on for another 20 minutes. It's only got a 3-minute time limit to go now, which is awesome, because as soon as our chicken's done, we should be finished making everything else. Yeah, yep, shocked face there. Yes. But I could see something moving in my vision, and then I realized something was crawling out of the broccoli. It was a spider. Ugh. Yeah, I feel like I need to cut it up even finer. And I have washed the broccoli. I washed the broccoli yesterday, but let's just double check that there's no spider. It wasn't a big one though. It was a little one. Still, you don't want a spider crawling out of your broccoli. Was it not freezing in the fridge? I feel like that would have been very cold. I guess it's an Australian spider, so they're pretty tough. I have the heebie-jeebies now. So there's our broccoli. Let me know if you do see a spider. Let's cook the broccoli. So if there is any spider left, it'll die. And I find the only good thing about these flexible cutting boards is the fact that you can do this. You can fold them and it's easier to tip stuff in. But aside from that, I'm not a fan. And I need to get some better cutting boards. Just gonna fill this with water just to cover it, and then we're gonna cook our broccoli and murder any spiders that might be left in there. Nah, there's definitely no more spiders left. And if I had a pot lid for this one, do we have one? Does this one fit? Yay! Okay, this must be the one thing we actually have a lid for. If you put lids on things, they cook quicker. And then you can use less energy, which is good. So we've got all of our cheese grated up. Spider is your secret ingredient, eh? No. Nope. Disposed of that. That's the chicken, and I can already tell it's definitely done. Oven mitt. Gonna need a spot to put it. Here? Yeah. And you can see it's just started crisping up. It's chicken, we're shredding it. It's all good. And yeah, there's a heap of juices that have come out. So we're just gonna leave that resting. Oh, you can't see this shot. It was good. We had the GoPro before and it had more of a wide angle shot, but oh well. So we're just gonna let our chicken cool down. I'll just cook, I'll cut into the cooked chicken just to double check, because these are huge chicken breasts. Yup, that's definitely all cooked. Maybe I'll hold it up so you can see. No. Ooh, maybe. There we go, all cooked. Perfectly cooked. Easiest way ever to cook chicken if you're just not feeling like laboring over a stove. We're gonna sneak in some leafy baby greens. And it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 different types of leaves in there, baby leaves. With all different types of flavors. This coral one is my favorite. Where is it? It's the really frilly one. That's my favorite. Oop. Just threw some spinach at myself. Where is the frilly one? There, that one. The super frilly one. We're actually growing some in our garden, so soon I won't have to buy packs like this when we have our own garden. But for now, it's just the easiest thing to have it all there. Now I'm paranoid that there's spiders, so I'm just gonna check through all the leaves, just double check. And this is already washed as well. Cookie Punster says, maybe I should grate cheese in bulk and put it in the freezer. Yes, I would recommend. That's what I always do. It makes it so much easier if you just want to sprinkle some cheese on something and not have to get out like a grater and a cutting board and a knife and grate it every time. We always just have a huge thing of grated cheese in our freezer, and yeah, that's what we do. We just put it in a Tupperware container like that, write cheese on there, and yeah, find that's the best way. And it's also way cheaper if you buy a block of cheese, grate it yourself, and then put it in the freezer. Because if you're buying grated cheese all the time, it is more expensive because they've had to grate it for you. And not to like put you off grated cheese, but the one time I bought grated cheese because I thought, nah, I can't even be tossed with grating cheese, because I was making like an eggplant parmigiana. We bought a whole thing of grated cheese, like a packet, and then realized it had mold in it. And that was just from the fridge section. Because once you grate cheese, it's, I guess because it like aerates, it's got a lot more surface area that the air can, you know, get into and start spoiling. Once you buy grated cheese, it has way less of a shelf life than like a block of cheese. So yes, less expensive to buy a block of cheese, grate it yourself, and put it in the freezer. I'm cutting up these leafy greens. You can't really see, sorry. I have to cut everything at the at the edge here. I'm just cutting them up because I found they're just easier to digest if they're cut like this. Easier for your body to, you know, break them down if they're already somewhat cut. And we also don't want a huge mouthful of anything really, aside from cheese. But these wraps, we're putting in so many different things that we just want it to be a medley of you know, chicken and cheese and the different vegetables and things that we're putting in. We don't want a big mouthful of tatsoi leaf, which is a very mustardy flavor. Don't want anything too overpowering. That was our sweet potato done, by the way. That happy noise from the microwave. Cookie Monster, I almost thought you were gonna say it had a spider in it. No, not quite. I probably would have rathered the spider than the mold through the freezer. I mean, through the fridge. It was just a fridge grated cheese. Because the shops had shut, I really needed cheese and yeah, couldn't use any of it. Which is the first time that's ever happened to me. But also the first time I've ever bought grated cheese from the fridge, and I thought, oh, I'll just pay for the convenience of it being already grated, even though it is more expensive. I'll just grab it so I don't have to, you know, grate away, but it wasn't worth it. We had no cheese. Oh, our sweet potato is looking good. I'm just gonna prod it. And if it's squishy, oh, yep, this one's pretty squishy. And the skin has just started getting wrinkly. So that's excellent, that's what we want. And these ones are extremely sugary because the sugar is just poured out, which I will show in a second. I'll go get the corn and the black beans. And I love corn, so I'm actually going to put 2 cans. And whatever we don't use for the wraps, we can just eat in salads and things. Also, I love grilling up, well, not grilling, I love cooking up corn because it's like I cook everything in the oven because I really do. It's the easiest way. But also putting just corn from the can onto a saucepan with a little bit of oil is also just great. Would recommend. And it's really fun to put in salads. There's all our leafy greens cut up. I'll keep that there because you can see that in the shot. There's so many things right here that I feel like you can't really see. I'm gonna go strain the corn, and we've got some black beans. I'm probably just gonna do 1 can because we do have the like the bulky aspect from the sweet potato, because that'll make us feel really full. And we're also doing the coconut rice, which is, yeah, rice makes these incredibly filling. I really miss having that on the camera because then you could see what I'm doing over there. But that's fine, you can most likely hear it. Cookie Monster bought some canned corn recently, but it spoiled before I could use it all. Oh, I didn't know it would go bad so fast. That's awful. Aw. I've never had that happen with corn. That sucks. I'd I feel like the ones that we get, this one here, I think it's like loaded with salt probably. Brine, I think that's just basically salt and water, isn't it? And sugar. Best before date, see end of can. I never look at the best before dates of these. March 2024, that's a long time. Yeah, that sucks. I know a lot of, well, I think all grocery stores, if things spoil before they should, you can take it back and get a refund. Which I should have done with that moldy shredded cheese from like a year ago. But yeah, with corn, especially canned corn, it definitely should not. So yeah, dang. Just gonna get a little bowl for our black beans so then we can start our little production line. And do we need anything in the oven or can I turn it off? Nope, I'm gonna keep it on because I'm not wasting those sweet potato skins. I'm keeping those and we're gonna just make some yeah, sweet potato skins, I guess is what they're called. I'm gonna toss them with some olive oil and salt and pepper because the most nutritious part is right under the skin. So we don't wanna waste that. Also, food's just too expensive to waste it at the moment. I was really shocked to see when we went shopping yesterday that the fruit and vegetables were more expensive than some of the meats. Like there was a stack of ribs, which we never eat, but there was a stack of ribs and it was $14 a kilogram. And then the capsicum was $20 a kilogram. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me that something like capsicum per kilogram would be more expensive than like a rack of meat. That doesn't make sense because you think about the energy that goes into making vegetables, growing vegetables compared to, yeah, meat. It's yeah, pretty different. So I don't know why there was so much of a price difference. Weird. In our pantry as well, we have a whole bunch of racks that I've put in just to double the storage that we have in there, so they're the perfect size for these cans. And I always find I have around about 4-ish cans of corn in there at any one time. And I have a little bit of a system where I take them from the left-hand side every time and then just push the next ones through. So then I'm always using like the oldest one there, which we eat so much corn and black beans and canned goods that we never really have them in there for too long. I think it's more so the sauces and marinades that we have in the pantry that periodically I have to look through the best before dates because I don't know how long it's been in there. So that's a good little tip. And also for things like corn chips, I was sharing some of my wisdom with Josh yesterday, and I'll share it here, but when we get a new thing of corn chips, well, what some people, stares at Josh, what some people do is they just open up the new bag and then just put it straight in there on top of the old ones. But what I like to do is tip out the old ones, put it in another little container, and then put in the new ones. So the new ones are at the bottom, And then I fill the older ones from, you know, maybe 2 weeks-ish ago up the top. So then you're constantly always just getting like fresh ones. So that's a little handy tip. And also I love watching those type of organizational videos on, I don't know, like TikTok or YouTube and things like that, where people talk about their handy tips to, you know, keep things fresh in their house and not be like wasting food. Corn, that's what we were doing. I'm gonna need a big bowl for the corn because we have so much. Yeah, you're not interested in corn, are you, Addie? No, she's pretty impartial to corn. There's our corn. I'll put black beans here. And our chicken is cooling, potatoes cooling down. It's good to just kind of keep prepping things as we go so then they can fully just, yeah, cool down. So it's easy to cut into them without burning ourselves. Hi Addie, did I just drop something, did I? She just raced here and started, what are you eating? Oh, she thought she was in trouble, so she did the whole head down thing. Head down, puppy eyes up. Yeah, I feel like maybe you need to see a little more of the counter. I might just rearrange it so then you can see what I'm doing. Oh, just about tipped that over. Okay, we can see a little more now. You're scavenging for scraps, hey Addie. I don't think I dropped any cheese. I think you just ate some spinach. I didn't think you liked spinach. Cookie Punster says, imagine if both sides had covers. You could just turn it and use the old ones from the other side. That's revolutionary. That is a very smart thought. You should definitely develop that because I would buy that. That's a very smart thought. Oh, and I went op shopping the other day, which I know last cooking stream I got very distracted and I showed all the things that I got from op shopping, but I just got one thing. It was a book, and I'll show it in a second. Maybe when we're waiting for our loaded toasties to toast. I think that'd be a good opportunity because they will take at least 5 minutes to toast each. And I have found the trick is don't over toast them because you'll be freezing them. Well, I'll be freezing them. You will if you choose to make them. But you'll be freezing them, and then when you do go to eat them, you just pull them out of the freezer and put them straight back on the toasty machine. And my dad was actually down a while ago because they've been renovating their house, and so he didn't have a fridge or anything because, you know, we'd packed it up and sold it on because it's like a full renovation, which is very, very exciting. And Josh and I went down to help him move things, like heavy things like the couches and like the oven. Literally got everything out of the house. And yeah, because he didn't have a fridge or like, you know, a microwave or oven or anything that was usable, we would take down some lunches, and the go-to was toasted wraps. So I made a whole heap before then. So that would have been maybe a month and a half ago that I last made a whole heap of wraps, toasted wraps. And it's just the easiest thing to bring with you to take to someone because they're frozen, and all you need is a toasty machine to heat them back up. Or you can bring them fresh, that's also amazing. And yeah, he loved them. Those ones had, what do they have? They had rice and sweet potato, chicken, cheese. Oh, we had a really nice sauce with them then. It was like a, was it this one? I think it was the spicy peri peri. Yeah, they were excellent. So for a couple of days in a row there, we would just drive down, bring our toasted wraps with us, and then just heat them up. We'd bring our little toasting machine with us. They're very nutritionally dense. Like we're jam-packing them full of loads of really good, nutritious things. And yeah, it gave us a lot of energy for the whole day for moving things. And yeah, if you've ever moved house, you know how exhausting that is. And this was like that, but so much more, because it was gut everything. It was gutting everything. My dad had pulled out all the wardrobes, like the built-in wardrobes, tore them all down. Literally, we pulled out the oven and things like that. Well, it's a big, heavy thing. So having the toasted wraps was the best thing, because I was thinking, oh, we should probably make sure that we bring food because we don't live too far away, and yeah, there's not going to be anything to cook there, and we had to wait on a few people to, you know, do things around the house or like buy the oven and things. So I had to hang around and didn't want to have to go down to, I don't know, like a local cafe or restaurant or anything and waste time waiting for food when we really had to get a wriggle on and get all the stuff out of the house, because I was on a bit of a time crunch to get that done before the handover to the builders. That was a very long way of me saying these toasted wraps are excellent to travel with and just have in your freezer at all times. There's all of our capsicum. Our rice should be almost finished soaking. Oh my goodness, the broccoli. I forgot about the broccoli. No one warned me. Rick Samurai, hi. Thank you so much for joining. Let me see how you cut the veggies again. I think we need a time machine for that, but yes, we've got a capsicum. We only bought one because they are very expensive at the moment, but we have one, and yes, it is cut. Sorry that you missed it, but the VOD will be up after this, so you can definitely go back and watch. That's our broccoli done, by the way. So I'm just going to strain that. Thanks for joining us. And Pinky ISO Clyde. Hi, thanks for joining. Is that like a bell pepper? Yes, it is. I think Americans call them bell peppers, we call them capsicums. And they are very expensive at the moment. So I really want to grow my own, which we will be doing sometime soon. We're going to have our own garden, which will be fun, and hopefully by then we can have some sort of camera that I can move around rather than just Josh's phone connected to the tripod, so then I can take you out into our garden and you can see all the things that I've grown. And yes, Konokonkan, so I was pretty sure they're similar. Yes, I think it's just a different name. Just a different name. I always like the red ones better, but they were even more expensive than the green one. So here's our broccoli all finely cut up. I'm just gonna strain that. And I need a spatula because these little broccoli florets, they just get everywhere, don't they? And I really want to cook dishes because we're making so many different things, so I might just reuse this pan. For what else do we need to cook? The coconut rice. I'll rinse it out a little bit. Rick Samurai, you use the 3-finger rule when slicing. 1 in front, your middle, and 2 behind. Good to know. Yes, I do enjoy watching YouTube videos of like professional chefs and how they cut. That's always, yeah, really good to like learn tips. So thank you very much for sharing your tip. Pinky Isoclad was going to remind you about the broccoli. That's all good. Thank you very much. But that's all good. If I burn things or overcook things, that's definitely on me. You're here to just relax and watch me make a crazy amount of food. And knuckles against the knife. Yes, agreed. I was watching, who was it? Oh, I can't think of the name. I'm very bad with remembering all these unique names that everyone has on Twitch. But I was watching a chef, they're a professional chef, last night or the night before, and they were cutting like a pro, because they were a pro, but it was amazing to watch, and everyone in the chat was like, don't chop off your finger, because he wasn't even looking at what he was doing, he was just looking at the camera. And Rick Samurai, you do cooking streams as well. Awesome. I will definitely have to jump in and watch one of yours. I've been trying to spend more time watching other people on Twitch, especially cooking streamers. I've followed a whole bunch, so then I can grow a little tribe of people to be inspired by and learn from. So yeah, that's awesome. So I'm gonna rinse this out, and we're gonna get on to our coconut rice. And I'm putting all the different sauces in one area. I might even I'll put the guacamole back till we're just ready to use it, because I got over eager and I opened it just before. Oh, okay, so it's not coconut milk, it's coconut cream. I'm not actually sure what the difference is. But yes, we don't grow coconuts here. So it's good to know that we have canned goods where we can get things like coconut cream and coconut milk. Our rice is rinsed, by the way, and it's been soaking for a little while. So I'm just gonna drain it. Good thing we rinsed that. That looked very, very, what's the word? It looked very murky watered. So it's always a really great idea to rinse your rice. You can just get that rice ASMR right there. And I'm back. I didn't measure out how much, but like I said, whatever we don't eat, we will eat. Whatever we don't put in the wraps, we'll eat. Because coconut rice is amazing. Beans rice burrito, yes, that's on the menu for on Wednesday actually. So I love making meals like this because whatever we don't put in the wraps, I know that it's going to feed into the meals that we're doing later in the week. So Connor Khan says, sort of a toasted burrito. Love rice in wraps. It is kind of like a toasted burrito. Yeah, some of them we will do very much burrito style with, you know, all the usual burrito foods like the beans, the rice, and the chicken and the cheese. We do even have chipotle, which is always a source of choice that we have in our burrito. So we'll definitely be doing some of them, and we'll be doing some other combinations as well, like the ones with the broccoli. And if we had feta, we would definitely be putting feta in. And we have a first-time chatter, Mike Ross Forever. Thank you so much for popping in. Connor, you ever think about baking a crumb cake? On the moon, bruv. I don't know what a crumb cake is, but I have made, what was it? It was a crumbed cinnamon banana bread. That was excellent. So that's probably the closest I've come to baking that. Oh, Addie just licked the saucepan. You just licked the saucepan. And Cookie Punster says, ate a huge burrito once and couldn't walk after. That's when you know it's a big burrito. Yes, I love burritos. Obviously, we've got one on the fridge for Wednesday. I'll turn you around if you're new here and you've missed it. Hello, mate. Mike Ross Forever. And then that funny face. I need to know what that one actually means. I see it on Twitch all the time. And it's a dessert. Awesome. It does sound like a dessert that I could get around. Quickly going to turn you around if you're new here. This is my little system for our meal prepping for the week. So Monday, tomorrow, there we go. Monday, there we go. Monday we've got toasted wraps. They are veggie toasted wraps, but today we're going a little rogue and making chicken wraps, I guess. Some will have chicken, some probably won't. Then we've got lentil burrito bowls for Tuesday, and then burritos for Wednesday. And Thursday we've got tuna mornay, which I've already, I've prepped that beforehand, and that's just sitting in the freezer because we always have a whole heap of freezer meals. Friday is stuffed sweet potatoes, which also has a whole bunch of these similar style of, I don't know, food medley of the corn and the beans and the cheese and things. So here's our rice. It's a lot of rice, actually. I always do too much rice, but that's fine. I'm gonna put in our coconut cream, and that's basically all there is to it. Just cook it in some coconut cream and water. Okay, so maybe the difference between coconut cream and coconut milk is this is way more solid than coconut milk usually is. I feel like there was a lot right there. Whereas usually I would use coconut milk because I find that that's more affordable here anyway. But yes, I just spooned that out and look at all that coconutty goodness right there. So I've just dumped that straight in, and we're just gonna cook it. And it's the rice is gonna soak up all that coconutty goodness. I'm stirring in to see how much liquid we have. Oh, I could use another can, but one thing I have noticed, I'll just grab it. Coconut cream, the amount of fat in this is 50% of your daily recommended intake of fat, which is a lot. And it says that this entire can has 7 servings approximately. So 1 serving daily intake per serving. So 1/7 of this is 50% of your recommended daily fat intake. So very, very, very rich in fat. But when you consider what else we're putting in our wraps, we don't actually have a whole lot of fat. We've got the chicken breast that we've cooked in the oven with no oil. We've got corn, we've got leafy greens, we've got beans. We do have cheese, which is basically the only other thing that has fat. In terms of the ingredients that we're putting in, sweet potato, that's all good. So I think we'll probably top it up with water rather than another can. But yes, I've just mixed it all through. It looks amazing, soaking it all up. Chunky coconut cream, yes. I love the smell of coconut. My sister actually bought me a coconut shower bomb, which is like a bath bomb but for in the shower, so it fizzes up. And yeah, smelled incredible, but not as incredible as this smells, because this is real coconut. And Addie's just pressing the buttons on the dishwasher. What are you doing, Addie? Must you? I think she's learning how to use the dishwasher, guys. Okay, we've put in enough water just to cover that, but most of that is the coconut milk. Don't you get into that bin, Addie. Don't you do it. And we will not be leaving a silicone spatula on that saucepan. That would not go well. This morning I had a protein bar, like a dark chocolate cranberry one for breakfast, and then 2 little protein balls. So I'm getting pretty hungry. It's 11:39, so it's almost lunchtime. So we will be eating these for lunch. There's our capsicum or bell pepper, if that's how you say it where you are. What else? We've got our broccoli, which has drained over here. Excuse me. I'll just leave that in the colander for now. Is that what you guys call this? Colander? Strainer? Oh, so this is not very aesthetic, is it? This red one. Do we need it for anything else? You know what? We probably do. That sweet potato. Let's do the sweet potatoes now, because then we can use the skin and roast them in the oven, because we're not about wasting food here. Look at all that sugar. Can you see the sugar that has come out of that? There's like sugar juice right there. And they've cooled down enough. They're still Still pretty warm. But yes, we are mainly here for the flesh. For the flesh of the sweet potato. That is pretty hot. That's pretty hot. I let it cool down for ages. Anyway, that there is the sugar. So I'm just gonna put that aside. Excuse me, Addie. She always lies right where I wanna walk. Hopefully that's not too hot to handle. Maybe some tongs. And see how easy that is to cut into. That's why I always prefer, if I'm gonna make a whole heap of sweet potato flesh for in something like a toasted wrap, is just cook it beforehand. It saves me needing to faff around with like peeling it and cutting it. So much easier just to stab it, put it in the microwave or the oven, and just forget about it until it's cooked. And then, as you will see, the skin's just gonna peel right away. So just split it down the middle, and then down the middle again. And let's get something to put our sweet potato in. Thank you, Addie. Oh. Let's see if it's spoon worthy, if we can just spoon it straight out into the bowl. Can you see the steam? Am I in focus? I'm in focus, aren't I? Hopefully. Yeah, this is like steaming like crazy. Yeah, that's spoon worthy. See that? Just comes straight out. But we didn't want to overcook the skins too much because we're gonna be roasting them. I don't know if you saw it, but if you do follow me on Instagram, I did make a whole bunch of sweet potato fries the other night. Was that last night? Oh, it's really hard to know what day it is. But yeah, that was great. I just cut them up, put them in the oven, drizzled on some honey, a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, and rosemary. And it was rosemary from our garden, which was just the coolest feeling. Finally having space enough to grow some things like rosemary, which is probably our most used herb spice choice. So I'm just, look at that, just comes straight out. It's hot. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday or a Saturday, wherever you are. I don't think it's Monday anywhere for any place in the world, is it? But yes, hope you're having a lovely weekend. Josh and I are. We actually woke up early this morning, which is such a change. We took Addie for a walk. We did some training with her. That's why she got the cheese. She doesn't usually get cheese for breakfast, but she just isn't very into eating her kibble, which is a lot easier to just transport in a little pouch as we're doing training with her. But yeah, she's not a fan. She likes cheese way better and will listen if we pull out the cheese. So she did really well this morning. She didn't go to the park though, because we figured this is training time. Good thing I only did 2 of these sweet potatoes, by the way. That's almost a full bowl and we're not even finished yet. That just fell out. Did you see that? This is the flesh and that just fell out of this one. So good. Definitely the easiest way to cook sweet potatoes. And the chicken should be fully cooled down. So I'll shred that right after this. Should probably get on that now so we don't have the chicken out for too long. Ah, that's hot. There we go. Look at that. That's just like, it's basically like a mash. Now we don't have to put in any effort. Oh, we've got a follower. Thank you so much for following Token114. It's great to have you here. Thanks so much for stopping in and giving a follow. I love seeing Addie's little face pop up, just makes me so happy. And Pinky Isoclad says, next stream could be making dog treats. Yes, I have definitely thought about it. Fun fact, sweet potato, she loves sweet potato. Not when it's this hot. Definitely need to let it cool down. But if you do have a hyperactive dog like we do, she'll when she's just, you know, doing her own thing, but when people come over, she goes bonkers. So I have found these things called licky mats. They're all in the freezer, but they're basically like this mat that has all these little grooves in it. And what I like doing is putting in something like sweet potato when it's basically pureed like this. And then just putting it in the freezer and it freezes. So she has to lick to get at it because she loves sweet potato, or yogurt is a really good one, like Greek yogurt. And it's something about them licking, it releases like what's it called? Like endorphins, feel good endorphins, but that are also calming. So what we do when people come over and she goes bonkers, once she does start to calm down, then we give her one of these licky mats. So yeah, that's a good thing. So I don't have any licky mats at the moment, but if I did, I would definitely be putting in some of this sweet potato. But I filled them all up the other day because we had Greek yogurt that we had to use up. Like I had one more day left on it, so. There we go, here, this is the thing I'm talking about. This thing. But, oh, yep, she's just wagging her tail and she's coming close. But yeah, she's got all these like little grooves in there and she has to lick quite vigorously to get out the whatever we put in. Whoa. Oh no, it's a race towards. I just dropped that and then Addie lunged for it. That was a loud noise, wasn't it? Let's check on our rice. That was very loud. Sorry if that startled you. It startled me. So our rice is just starting to get soft. Okay, let's put on these potato skins. Probably don't need one that big. I find these little ones are much better because then they fit in the dishwasher. Yeah, everything's good. I dropped a licky mat. I know it was very loud. So, potato skins. And I've left just a tiny little bit of flesh on them so they don't get too crispy, although I really do like them crispy. Okay, maybe I did need a bigger one. Oh well, they'll reduce down a bit as they crisp up and kind of curl. Yeah, I dropped the licky mat and then Addie lunged for it.
She would.
There's a bit of yogurt on the floor. Do you want to go get it? Go find.
You're fine.
Yeah, there it is. You walked right over it. She's not always the most observant pup. Cool. There's our sweet potato. I'm really gonna have to keep an eye on this rice here. I might just turn it down a bit. That's on the lowest heat now, so it can just bubble away. But yes, I would recommend not wasting your skins from sweet potatoes or regular potatoes. At the moment, sweet potatoes are actually cheaper, like a whole $1 cheaper per kilogram than just regular white potatoes. And as the name suggests, they are sweeter. I do like them better. So we always have heaps of them. You want to make sure this doesn't catch because coconut rice is such a delicate flavor that you do not want it to catch on the bottom, because then it will just go throughout the entire thing. Let's do a little taste test. I'll do it with the spoon because I feel like that just cooked really quickly then. It's still a little bit crunchy. I'm gonna have to take that off. It's on the lowest heat. Might take it off for a little bit. And we have a lid for this one, don't we? I'm gonna put the lid on and take it off the heat so that can just simmer away. And I think it's time to cut the chicken, well, shred the chicken. And we don't really mind if it, gets some sweet potato on there because it's all going to be thrown in a wrap, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Oh, there we go. And where is our grater? Yep, it's cooled down enough to hold. I don't know why it never crossed my mind to just let the chicken cool down before I start shredding it. But yeah, look at that, it's just falling apart really. Just using the grater to help along with the process because I like having it shedded. I keep saying shredded. I've got shedded in my mind because Addie is currently shedding her fur, which is really weird because we start winter in a week, about a week's time. So don't know what that's about. Yes, shredded chicken. Hashtag shredded chicken. It's excellent. And it is Addie's all-time favorite food. If we were to rank Addie's favorite foods from like first to least, shredded chicken is number 1, cheese is number 2, sweet potato is number 3. I have to move this bowl because she's right there and you can almost see her little eyeballs. Well, this is exciting. Once this is shredded, that's basically everything. And then we can start putting them together, which is the fun part. That's most definitely the fun part, aside from eating them. I am just being ultra cautious of the grater because I grated my hand a while ago. And that wasn't good because I got over eager. Also, this chicken is just like falling apart. Look at it. It's so good. You wouldn't think it would be so moist by just cooking it in the oven like that, but it is, as long as you don't overcook it, which we were almost on the verge of because I get very distracted when I'm talking to you guys. But it makes it way more fun. Way more fun. this is also something, Cookie Bunster, if you're still there, this is something that I also do along with the shredded cheese. Every couple of weeks, really, we buy a thing of chicken like this, just a bulk thing of chicken breast. Just put it straight in the oven, make sure to not overcook it, and then I just shred it and we put it in the freezer. Anything that we don't use immediately, we just put it straight in the freezer, and it's really good to heat up for Addie and also for ourselves. I would recommend though, if you are heating it up very quickly, like if you're putting it in the microwave, put in a glass of water so then the moisture can kind of be soaked up by the chicken, or else it kind of dries out. And it's totally fine for Addie. She loves it. She loves chicken heated up like that. Oh, and her least favourite food, I forgot to say it from first to least. We know her top 3 foods, but her least favourite food is kibble. Just the regular dry dog food. Yeah, I know, it's chicken. It's giving me some major puppy eyes. It's getting really messy up in here. Also, if you're not, if you don't eat meat, if you're vegan, you can definitely swap this out. Maybe put in some, I've done that, like crispy tofu. If you're not using or eating chicken, I find it's the easiest way to get some protein into our diet, because I think that's something that we don't really have a lot of. So, and it's really expensive. Chicken is very expensive at the moment. So we don't have it often, but it's good. We're spreading it across so many different wraps. Yeah. So Pinky ISO says, missed the first part of the stream. When you put the chicken in the oven, did you season it or put oil or butter on it? And what was the temperature? So, no, I did not. I didn't do any of those things because we are just shredding it and we're using a whole range of different sauces in the actual wraps. I just put in the chicken, no butter, no oil or anything. The temperature was about 200 degrees Celsius, which I'm sorry, I don't know the conversion if you don't work in Celsius, but I'm sure Google will tell you. Yeah, and we put it on for 20 minutes, straight in the oven, no oil, no butter, just put it on this silicone, yep, I can touch that, it's not too hot, this silicone baking mat, and put it on for 20 minutes, flipped it, and then another 20 minutes. So 40 minutes all up. And the skin did get a little bit crispy, but I actually kind of like that. It's probably not a way I would cook chicken for something that's, you know, like a delicate kind of a meal, if that makes sense, but for something when we're making a heap of it, like we're bulk making things today. And yeah, it's just the easiest way that I have found to cook chicken, where I don't have to be slaving over a saucepan, flipping it constantly, making sure it doesn't catch. And I can prep all these other things whilst it cooks in the oven. So if you want the easiest possible way to cook chicken, I would recommend just putting it straight in the oven. Do we want it in a Tupperware? Yes. Yes. It's good. All our timings are working out pretty well. Also, I am aware I need to put those potato skins in, but I'll do that once I finish shredding this chicken so that I can keep an eye, because I don't want those to burn. Also, buying shredded chicken from the store is so expensive. I remember I was looking at like meal prepping a whole bunch of stuff for work lunches when I worked in the city, and I thought, oh, it's just too much effort to cook a whole bunch of chicken over a saucepan in bulk and make sure it doesn't burn and be there for ages flipping it. So I did look into just getting shredded chicken, like pre-shredded from the stores, and per kilogram it was ridiculous. It was like 3 times the price of just buying regular chicken breast, and you got way less of it, which if anyone knows me, that's not really how I do things, how I meal prep. I like making a whole bunch of stuff and having the convenience of knowing it's in the freezer or when I need it. But yeah, look, like it's still super duper moist and just pulls apart. I know Addie. She's drooling all over the floor. Hopefully I don't slip in it. You're such a dog, Addie. Chimkin, please. The next thing that I need to work on for my Twitch channel is like little sound bites. Yeah, there should be like Addie themed ones where it can be like, Chimkin, please. Or plays her heavy breathing. I need to record Addie's heavy breathing. And then it can be like redeemable with like channel points. That'd be pretty fun. There we go. That's all shredded up. Probably gonna use half of this chicken, I think. We made a lot. That's a lot of shredded chicken right there. It's a full Tupperware container. And we've got this, and we've got a whole nother breast over there. Addie just licked my leg. Licked my leg out of love. So I can give her some chicken, I think, is the aim, isn't it, Addie? You want some chicken? Oh, and I do have this thing called a veggie bullet, which I'm devastated, but I broke it. But usually that's what I would be using to prep all these things even more efficiently. And that's how I would shred chicken. So I've been shredding this chicken for, I don't know, at least 5 minutes at least. There's a lot of it. But the veggie bullet, maybe I'll pull it out when we're toasting the wraps and you can see what it is. I don't even think they sell it anymore. Well, they definitely don't sell the part that I need, the one that I broke. But you just, it's got a shredding function. It's got like a noodle function that I would make sweet potato noodles and zucchini noodles out of. It was so good. And I'm so sad that I broke it. And I've been on eBay trying to find the part that I need. I just can't find it anywhere. I can find all the other parts, the ones that I didn't break. But yeah, I would just literally cook the chicken like this and then within 30 seconds be done with shredding it, because I would just feed it through the little tube thing and it would shred it all. It was magical. And now it just sits there in the pantry in its box, not being used, because that's what I used it most for, was the shredding function. Also, it was amazing for shredding cheese. I would just get like a block of cheese and then put it down in 10 seconds, the whole thing was shredded. So pretty sad that I broke that. I got over eager and I crammed too much into it, and then this little I don't know, little compartment thing broke away. So good, because yeah, I would have already been making the wraps if we had that. Oh, we have a suggestion. So for shredding chicken, use a hand mixer until you can find the replacement part. That does sound good. I need a hand mixer. But yes, very good suggestion. I should, because yeah, doing it by hand like this it takes some time. Okay, how can we most efficiently do this? I think we'll put on the toasting machine because that'll take a couple minutes to heat up. Whilst that's heating up, we will make our potato skins, because that's just a yummy extra addition to the stream and something that I can snack on while we're waiting for our wraps. Here's all the things, by the way. Well, not all the things, most of the things that I can fit in the shot, really. I'm gonna put this entire thing of shredded chicken, where are we gonna put it? Straight in the freezer, probably. I don't think we'll probably eat toasted wraps for lunch in a little bit, and probably for dinner, because they are good. And it's great with all these different things, we can make different combinations, which just keeps it fun and interesting. And let's make sure we write what's on there, or else I will forget. If you haven't seen it before, this is how I know what anything is in my freezers, because I have multiple. These little, what are they? They're like blackboard stickers. And it's got a whole heap of them. And usually I have them on every single one of my Tupperware containers, but I think this one was in the pantry for some time and it had something else in there, so it doesn't have a sticker. So we can see me putting a sticker on it, which I haven't done in the longest time, because I love stickers. And you can put them in the microwave with the sticker on. You can put them in the freezer, in the dishwasher. And then I've just got this chalkboard marker that I write what's on there. Chicken. Nope, there you go, chicken. Or else I don't know what anything in the freezer is. Also, it's great for writing dates on things, for things that I'm putting in the fridge. So I write when I've made it. But if it's something like chicken where it's shredded like this, so it's actually very easy to break apart, use what you do need, like if I'm heating some up for Addie, then yeah, it's a really great system that I found. It's Lavender Cube, hi! Thanks so much for popping in. I am making a crazy amount of food. We're making some loaded toasted wraps. Thank you so much for popping in. In the freezer, which it's getting pretty full. Good thing I have another freezer. Let's make, nope, not yet. We're putting on the toasty machine so that can heat up. That's what we decided. And earlier we had another camera set up where you could see where the toasty maker was going to be, but we know how that went. That didn't work out well. How are you going, Lavender Cube? Did you enjoy your steak last night? And how's your weekend turning out? Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it. I'll flip the camera around when we're actually cooking them, maybe. Okay, that is heating up. I got coconut milk on my phone. And we'll check the coconut rice because maybe that's done steaming, which is, I know as soon as it's done steaming, Josh is gonna come out and start eating it. So good thing I made extra. I always have to make extra to account for Josh snacking. Lavender cube going well, having a salad and watching YouTube videos. The cookies you made came out delicious. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sending me that recipe, by the way. I definitely need to make them. I've never heard of them before. Haystacks, if anyone else watching has heard of haystacks. Lavender made some last night. They're like no-bake cookies, which I was very intrigued as to how you make no-bake cookies. But yeah, Lavender made some and it sounds amazing. They were chocolate flavored, or you can make them peanut butter, I think it was. And I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. We woke up early this morning, which is very unusual for us. So I feel like I have done more. That is not hot. That's not hot at all. I have done more this morning than I would usually by like the middle point of the day. So I'm just gonna drizzle on a tiny bit of oil, like that much. We do not need much. And we've got our tongs. And Lavender Cube says, yeah, no problem. I love them so much. I grew up with them. Oh, that's lovely. It's lovely making the cookies that you grew up with. I think the cookies that I grew up making were chocolate chip. With my mum and with my nan. They were always the cookie of choice. And then with my dad, it was always Anzac biscuits. There we go, we're just making sure they are. Every little bit has got a little bit of oil on it. Oh, and Konokakan redeemed hydrate. Yes, I literally forget unless someone tells me. I'm gonna go grab my drink bottle because I've not had a drink like all morning. I had my tea, but that was it. Thank you for redeeming the hydrate. Addie just flew into action. Did I drop something? Thank you for using your channel points. Very fun. Yes, I agree with Konokon Khan. I hope you're having a wonderful day and that you don't have to do landscaping because that's what we're doing. After I make a whole heap of food, I'm gonna change out of this dress and go do our landscaping yet again. Because we actually have some sunlight hours. It's been getting dark really quickly here. So I started the irrigation last night. We're doing our own irrigation with pop-up sprinklers for our future lawn. Started that last night. It got pretty late, like 4:30, and then realized the sun goes down in an hour's time. So that was annoying. And we have our own rosemary from our garden, so we're definitely using that. And because they have already been cooked, so we could get the fleshy section out for our wraps, it's actually okay that we put our rosemary on now. Because I have found if you put rosemary on too early, when you haven't roasted the skins, the rosemary itself can burn, which is not the best. I'm just flipping that in, and definitely salt and pepper. ISO says, are you going to be using the sugar that came out of the sweet potatoes for anything? You actually read my mind. I have been in the back of my brain here thinking, what can I use that for? Because usually I would just cook the sweet potatoes in the oven for the entire time, and the sugar syrup itself that comes out of the sweet potatoes gets very caramelized, especially on these silicone baking mats. So it's very easy to pull up and then snack on, which is a really yummy snack. But I don't know, it's sitting over there, and I have been thinking, could I use it for anything else where I don't need to make another dish, another tray to go in the dishwasher, because I think we're gonna be pretty full by the time we pack the dishwasher. I was wondering if I could put it in anything. Could we put it in the wraps? Would that be weird? Maybe. That's a cool idea. I'm thinking we could even mix some of that sugary syrup in with the chicken, and it would make it really sweet. It'd be like putting honey in with the chicken. Okay, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Thank you very much for asking. You made me really think about it rather than just, what should I do with that? Cool, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna mix it in with some of our chicken. More pepper. And Konakon Khan says, thanks, it's going well so far, aside from the usual stream technical difficulties. Yup. I don't know what I would do without you, Josh. I certainly wouldn't be able to stream nearly as much, because every stream there's technical difficulties. That's our toasting machine heated up. Here's our sweet potatoes. I've flipped them around because the skin on the underside, I like cooking that first because it is, well, it's got the fleshy part. Here we go, covered in homegrown rosemary, olive oil and salt and pepper. And a great combination to add with this, if you're doing just regular fries or even the skins, is adding honey. So let's pop that in. And we'll probably put that on for about 15. Yeah, 15 at around about 200 degrees Celsius. And rice testing time. I don't know where this mystery fork came from or what it was used for. Pinky, so that sounds good. Thank you. I think it will be. I think that'll be really nice. I've not done it before, but not in that way. The rice smells so good. Look how fluffy our coconut rice is. Oh, it smells so good. Should see if it's definitely cooked perfectly and not crunchy. That's perfect. That's definitely the way to go when it's just a little bit crunchy, it's not quite done yet. Just putting it off the heat and just putting a lid on so it can steam up even more. Yep, that was definitely the way to go. Okay. Let's get our production line up. I'm gonna have to wipe down the countertop again because Addie's jumped up a number of times today. So don't anyone redeem the puppy one. Oh, and Pinky, you say you can call me Pinky. I will, yep. I'll call you Pinky. Good to know. I always struggle with people's very unique names on Twitch. So if I'm calling you something incorrectly, anyone in chat, let me know. That squeaky cupboard, every time it spooks me. I won't spray that near the food, and I will spray it straight on the sponge, because I don't want spray on our food. And I might even zoom it out a little bit more, maybe change the angle a bit, so then you can see the whole setup, because yeah, we're gonna have a little, I don't know, what, like production line, is that the word? Man, I made quite a mess. I can just start to smell the rosemary. Tea towel. I'm so glad we got a big kitchen island like this. I'd be so sad if we went for a small one where I can't spread out, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is our forever kitchen, our forever home. So I'm glad that we spent the money on the kitchen countertop and having such a big island. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Just thinking through the logistics. It was much easier when we had that second camera shot set up, but that's okay, we'll work with what we have. Also, this is the only time I ever use baking paper. Like the only time, because I always use those silicone baking mats whenever I'm cooking something, you know, in the oven. But if I'm cooking something on the toasty machine, then it definitely needs to be baking paper and not the silicone baking mats. I don't think that'd go very well. I never know how much to cut off. I feel like that was too little of a piece. Probably, it might be okay. Might be. I'm gonna be redeeming a hydrate all by myself. Easiest way to do this. So our base is always going to be sweet potato and rice as our starchy goods. Because I find with the combinations that I come up with, sometimes I get a little lost and forget to add some key ingredients sometimes, which is fine, keeps it interesting, but it is much easier to just, yeah, maybe go from left to right, working down with all the different things that we're putting in. So there's our coconut rice, our sweet potato, that'll be our base. We'll then probably be adding broccoli. Don't forget the avo spread. Thank you so much, Pinky. Yes. Yes, and I'll just grab the chicken back out because I just put that in there for a little bit. There's our chicken, got our guacamole. Because I'm not spending $3 on one avocado, which is like this big. Not doing that. That will make like enough for 2 wraps. We'll just start by opening them. And then I'll see exactly what you guys can see. Maybe I'll position you that way. And you can see all the dishes. Hey Josh, could you help with the dishes? Moving you on a tripod. Hopefully I don't unplug anything. Thank you. There, can we see a little bit more? There we go. Well, we can see the laptop. We can get a laptop in front. That's where I can see what you guys are saying. Yeah, I think that'll do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if you just pack as much in the dishwasher as you can. Thank you. We're gonna start with the large white ones. Also, these little like little oxygen absorbers are very toxic to your dog, so or your cat. Make sure you throw them out ASAP. Especially if you have a curious puppy like we do.
Anything else over there needs to go in?
Yes, these.
Awesome.
I might just keep the tongs though. Just put the tongs in the rosemary thing. Thank you.
Good.
And I find these, if you just start peeling them off, for some reason, this brand, they rip and then you like have half a wrap, which is really annoying. So I found the best way to do it is just start folding them over like this and rolling them. I actually think it says that on the package. There we go, and they kind of just fall away. There we go. Yes. You've had so much cheese this morning. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about, if you can see that. See how it's already started like ripping it? I didn't roll it enough. If you're lucky, you might see Addie pressing the buttons on the washing machine. Nope, dishwasher. That's not the washing machine. We don't live in an apartment anymore. That is not a washing machine. Sorry? Yes, Josh has said if we could teach Addie how to pack the dishwasher, that'd be good. Yep, see, it's happening. Yep. So we gotta roll it. Also really good if you're gonna have these wraps and freeze them, which I do all the time, like the whole package. Just open it first, peel them apart, and then freeze them. Or else you will be in for the worst time trying to separate them when they're frozen. It just won't happen. And you'll just end up eating like a whole bunch of wraps, like with a knife and fork, basically. Cool, so we're gonna try and be strategic with placing things so then we can do a bunch of wraps at the same time because I think we can fit maybe 4. Is 4? Yeah, I think we can do 4 at the same time, which would be good. So we'll just lay them out. Okay, time to start. We need spoons for everything, or tongs. Probably tongs for the cheese, and spoons for everything else. Oh, we do have big tongs. That would have been handy. Ooh, those are smelling good. They're crisping up a little, those potato skins, so I might just flip them. Addie is between my legs. What are you doing? You're between my legs, Addie. Excuse me. Now she's, thank you. She stuck her head up my dress. Yeah. Rice, we'll put it in. Black beans, corn. Let's flip those before I forget about it. It does have 2 minutes left, but there we go. It's just starting to get a little bit charred, which is actually how I like them. These potato skins. And I'll put a little more rosemary on because I love rosemary. Some more rosemary. And I picked this from our garden late last night. Oh, we got a follow! Woo! Pinky! Thank you so much for following, Pinky. So glad to have you as a follower for the stream. Addie's really happy. Her tail is wagging like crazy. You wanna jump up? Oh, actually, probably not here. But we got a follow. Well, look, Pinky's following. Hey, Addie, wanna jump up? Yay! Okay, and down again. There we go. That was fun, wasn't it? She got to see all the things up there. I know there's heaps of food. She's eyeing off the cheese and the sweet potato, huh? Yeah. So I'm just tossing that in. I've flipped them all over. That's why it's good to make sure they all start the same way up, because then you know where you have flipped them. So you don't have too many that are cooked on just one side. So they're all like rough skin up now. I think they're only gonna need another 5, 6, 7 minutes. I want them crunchy. I'm really in the mood for crunchy potato skins. I parted my hair on the other side last night and it's freaking me out. I feel very lopsided. So that's why I keep playing with my hair. Okay, rice. And I need to not get carried away and overpack these because I have done that before and then they just explode on the toasting machine. So let's not do that. I always overestimate how much I'll need on any one wrap, and then by the time I've finished adding every single ingredient, they are just like monster wraps. So coconut rice, I just wanna sit there with a spoon and eat it all. Best rice. I remember the first time I ever made coconut rice. Josh and I had been dating for a while and I wasn't living with him at that point, but I was over at his in the apartment. And yeah, I thought one day when I was looking in the pantry of things to make, clearly he didn't have a lot of food, being a guy at uni studying engineering. didn't have a whole lot of food in the house and would go out every single day to buy food. But he did have coconut milk in there and he had rice. And yeah, we combined it and it was the best thing ever. And now that's the only rice I want to eat. That and Mexican rice, like spicy rice. So if you haven't had coconut rice before, I would recommend picking up some coconut milk or coconut cream like we used today and just putting it in when you're cooking. Just don't go too ham with it because it's super high in fat. Like we saw, 1/7 of that can was 50% of your daily fat intake, which is bonkers. So we just put down our sweet potato, we're putting down our chicken, which is all nice and shredded. I do prefer shredded chicken in these wraps over just like a cubed chicken. I just do. I just prefer it. It's Eat at Dad's. Hi! Thank you so much for popping in. I loved your stream. Your like prep with me for your cooking trip. That was amazing. And I think it was your first stream ever. That was amazing. Very professional. If you haven't checked out Eat at Dad's, I would recommend. They were making a whole bunch of food for their camping trip. And you had excellent music, which made me think I need to actually look at what music is playing. Happy Sunday, yes, happy Sunday to you. Looks very organized. Yes, we've got a little production line going. We've got all our things laid out. We're making an excessive amount of loaded toasted wraps so I can cook them up and freeze all the ones that we're not going to eat today. Obviously, we're going to make like 30-ish different wraps. And it's definitely my go-to if I've got things to use up in the fridge, which we bought this broccoli yesterday and I cut into it today and it definitely had to be used up today, which is frustrating. Yeah, but I find that's the best way to use up leftovers is chuck it in a wrap, put some cheese with it and toast it. Freezes really well, especially if you have these big flexible ones. And Eat It Dad says, oh thanks, you're welcome. It was great. I put it on loud, Josh watched it with me. It was really, really lovely. You brought a really lovely vibe to the meal prepping experience and it made me want to go camping. And you're doing one again on Thursday, camping again this coming weekend. Wow. Well, I will definitely be stopping by that one. I love watching people get ready for things, like get ready, especially meal-wise. Like what are you prepping? This is something that I've not streamed before, the loaded wraps, but I make them all the time. Well, not all the time, because I make so many and then they last for such a long amount of time. But I was saying before, my dad is renovating my parents' house, so he didn't have a fridge or an oven or anything, and the power was getting turned off very soon, so we could completely gut the house so they could do renovations. So I thought, what's the easiest thing that we can bring and feed him? And yeah, toasted wraps was it. So that was the last time I made this, which was about a month and a half ago. It's good, you can make any combination. You can keep it really interesting because I like variety and being creative with what we actually have in the house. Yeah, so viewers, if you haven't checked out Eat at Dad's, definitely do. He's new, so am I, but he's even newer than I am. And he's got a great setup. So many different camera angles. We did attempt today. We had the GoPro, but it just didn't want to do its thing. So we had to take it down. But we did have another angle, so then you could see the toasty machine. But oh well, we're going with this, and hopefully next time we can get it working. It worked for a little bit there, but then it just it didn't. I think because it has to run without the battery and it doesn't like the battery being out of it. I don't know, it's weird. Oh, Addie just did the biggest yawn. You tired, Addie? And Eat It Dad says, I'm very much loving your prep setup here. Thank you so much. Just forgot that we had sweet potatoes. I'll check them in a second. Love the prep setup. Production, cooking is close to my heart. Yes, and that's so kind of you. You're welcome. And yay, Pinky just followed Eat It Dad's. Yes, good decision. Yep. They're a delight to watch. So thank you for following Eat It Dads. And Kunakan, I think having the GoPro was pushing too much data over the network. Need to run more Ethernet cables throughout. Oh no.